Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Quan Wath with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp, coming with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And this afternoon, or this evening, I just want to touch on this article. As we see here out of the Natural News, it reads, food collapse incoming. Ongoing drought forces farmers to abandon wheat crops, right? And we understand that this is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. He's got the land under siege, and he's using Esau Edom to do it. And then in the meantime, he's using these natural disasters to lay siege to the land as well, man, right? Because we got a drought going all across the western United States. We're going to read a little bit in this. It reads, the ongoing drought in large parts of the United States is forcing wheat farmers to abandon a portion of their crop at rates not seen in over a century, man. So they're just leaving the food, the wheat out there because the lack of rain, right? And we understand that the famines is a part of the various ways of death that the Lord is about to bring upon the land, man. Right? This is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And this is bringing great famine to Babylon, man. It reads again, or continuing on. It says, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, producers, especially in the U.S. Plains region, are expected to harvest only about 67% of their planted acres, the lowest harvest ratio since 1917. And it connects to another article. It says, food collapse incoming, globalist war on nitrogen emission, putting entire global food supply at risk. And we already understand that a lot of the grain supply was being supplied through Ukraine, so that war has compromised those crops, right? And now the drought that the Lord is sending upon the land is compromising the grain crops that we have in Babylon, man. On top of the C-19 that had the farmers not working and had those crops go to waste, man. So it's all on all sides. This place is being attacked. Let alone the insurrection of the people. The love of many waxing cold, the scriptures say, right? The various plagues and diseases that are out here. that are also being used to kill people, man. All these things, are what the Lord is using to destroy Babylon, slowly but surely, man. And they're all, as brothers go into that poly crisis, man. On all sides, this place is being attacked. Financially, we're about to see the crash of the U.S. dollar, man. Right? You could say Babylon is under siege right now. You siege warfare. You cut off all access to resources, man, in order to force the people into submission. Now Esau Edom think that they're laying siege to the land in order to force people to take the MOTB, but it's really the Lord laying siege to destroy Esau Edom, man. Right? Let's go to let's read a little bit more into this. It reads, the high rate of abandonment stem from years of freak weather patterns in the Great Plains that took their toll on American grain fields. Many wheat plants planted this winter were stunted by a lack of moisture, making many unable to produce the heads of grain that are harvested for their nutrients. Farmers who are leaving many of their acres unharvested are filing crop insurance claims for failed acres or abandoning wheat altogether to plant something else. Chief Executive Officer of the trade group Kansas Wheat announced that his organization is about to take a tour of Kansas, the country's top wheat growing state, to allow analysts to take surveys of fields and make production estimates. We'll see short wheat, thin strands, some wheat that looks really good, and a lot of fields that aren't going to be harvested, he said. So Lord willing, I remember to put this article in the description. But this is the famine that the Lord is sending upon the land, man. It said food collapse incoming. We're already seeing the food collapse take place in other countries, man. So when it hits Babylon the Great, that's when it's really going to hit hard. right? Let's go ahead and jump into the scriptures, man. You know, actually, we'll go to, we'll start in 2nd Esdras, you know, because we understand that famine and plagues are taking place in Babylon the Great. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and we'll start in 49. It reads, actually, I'll start in 47, or 46, like it. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions thereof, saith the Most High. Right? And so, this here in particular is talking about those who follow after the ways of Babylon, right? So the judgment that they receive is going to be likened unto the judgment that Babylon the Great is going to receive. Now, what's that judgment about to be? It reads, I will send plagues upon thee, verse 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So that's what's coming to Babylon the Great, man. Destruction and death, man. Evils and only evils is about to come upon this place, man. The siege, actually, let me get that, because I think I had that pulled up. The siege that the Lord has on Babylon the Great. This is that word siege in dictionary.com. It says, the act or process of surrounding and attacking a fortified place in such a way as to isolate it from help and supplies, for the purpose of lessening the resistance of the defenders and thereby making capture possible. Man, it says any prolonged or persistent effort to overcome resistance, a series of illnesses, troubles, or annoyances besetting a person or group, right? This is a great series of illnesses and troubles, right? Evils and only evils, right? On all sides. It says a prolonged period of trouble or annoyance, right? So the Lord has Babylon under siege, man. And the famine is just a small part of it, man, right? Because this famine is going to lead to the sedition, right? Even though sedition is going to be taking place, in the midst of, like, all these things are going to be intertwined, man. That polycrisis. Actually, let me get that definition real quick. Polycrisis. It says here, the simultaneous occurrence of several catastrophic events, man. Look, man, this is the several catastrophic events, evils and only evils, man. Let me get that, because that's what's coming upon the land, right? And this famine, this wheat shortage is just a small part of that famine that's about to take place, right? Ezekiel 5 and actually no, 75, Salakia. Okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 5. I'll start in 1. Ezekiel 7 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power unto the land of Israel, and the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now this was talking about back then, but the end of Babylon the Great is coming upon the land, man. The four corners. There's not going to be one untouched area of Babylon the Great, man. Especially when those missiles hit. The whole land mass is about to be completely evaporated, man. Now this continuing on, and those plagues and pestilences are about to hit the land as well, right? All the inhabitants are about to face great judgment. And this famine is just another cog in that polycrisis that's about to come upon the land, man. It says, now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, because this is the Lord's righteous indignation, man. It says, I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense all thine abominations. So all the wickedness that we see taking place in the land, in America chiefly, is about to be rewarded, man, with great death and destruction, right? It says, mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, right? Going into Ezekiel 9 and 4, or Ezekiel 9th chapter, where the Lord's he's not sparing anything but those who receive that mark of exemption, man, that thawah, right? It says, and my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, because the Lord is about to make his name great, in the land again, right? Verse 5, thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. So only bad times, only troubles, only, annoyances sounds like it's, dismissive of it, right? But only bad times, right? Going back to that definition in the, Salakia, going with only, illnesses, troubles, annoyances, trouble, only troubles, man, only bad times, only evils, man. It says, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come, the end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. Hey, man, great trouble, right? Hey, verse 7, the morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land, the time is come, the day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains, man. So the day of trouble is fastly approaching. Great death, great pestilences, man. Right? And this famine again is another one of those vehicles of destruction that the Lord is using. Right? Let's go back. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 16. Because these are both 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. Are heavy prophetic chapters, man. Right? Let's see here. Where do I want to start at? I'll start in 17. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. It reads, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and powers, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, and only evils, right? The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come, right? And we're in the midst of those evils right now, man. Right? So if you think it's bad now, then think about the evils that are about to come upon the land, right? If you think that there's a lack of food, if you think that we're in the midst of the love of many waxing cold now, right? You think that you think it's bad now, just imagine, it's about to get worse, before things get worse, it's going to get worse, man, right? Evils and only evils are about to come. So what shall I do when those evils shall come? Behold, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish, right? That trouble, right? That because the land is under siege, man, right? Just as the siege of Jerusalem, in the ancient times, we're about to see the whole landmass of Babylon be under siege, man, right? It says, behold, famine, plague, and tribulation and anguish are set for scourges, correction, for amendment, or scourge, punishments for correction, right? Scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn away their wickedness. They shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? Because they're going to continue, in the debaucherous abominations that they take part in, man. So like, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, right? And we're seeing those things beginning to grow, right? We're seeing them to become more and more present in the minds of the people, man. But they're not going to turn away from their wickedness, man. These people are about to double down, right? It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, right? So famine is a major key component in what's about to take place, man. The death that the Lord has set before the land, man. Right? Many shall perish of famine. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? So, the various means of death that the Lord has prepared, But that famine, as we reading, man, going back to that article, let me see if I can get that back up. It says the food collapse incoming, man, right? The whole food system is about to collapse. The whole economy is about to collapse. The U.S. dollar is about to collapse, right? We already see the mental stability of the people is collapsing, man, right? It's just going to be a collapse upon collapse upon collapse, man. That poly crisis, right? All these events culminating in the downfall and the ultimate destruction of Babylon the Great. Right? Let me see, going back. Let's jump down. Slovakia. I think it's in 15. Slovakia. Let me see. All sides. Oops. Every side. I think that's what it was. Every side. Slovakia. Because there's going to be no escape, man. The various plagues that the Lord has designed are going to, bring great judgment on every facet of society, man. And that's why I brought out that article, because the famine is it's just one facet. Yep, here we go. This is 2nd Ezra 16. I'll start in 37, and it reads, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And we're watching the plagues begin to draw closer and closer, right? It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. And look, the whole earth is about to feel this pain, man. Right? You're not going to escape it. Unless you're part of that elect number, right? You're going to feel the pain, right? And sorrows, bad times, evils and only evils, right? Troubles, right? shall come upon it on every side, man. Every side. You're about to feel the pain, man. Right? Every side. Let's get this in Sirach, and then we'll close up. I don't want to make this too long. Let me see. It's 39. And this is the book of Sirach, verse 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? What's it say? Fire and hail, famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, man. Right? So the drought that is bringing forth that famine, all these are spirits sent out. Why? For the vengeance of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, to facilitate the downfall of this wicked kingdom. You know, to bring judgments, to bring great deaths. You know, that's what the Lord is bringing through these famines. You know, through the food shortages, right? Through these various plagues and pestilences, man. You know, you reading, I think it's in Leviticus 4th chapter, man. You know, famine, you know, dying of lack of food is worse than dying by the sword, man. You know, so it's going to be a lot of people, you know, as I say, you know, pining away, you know, just wasting away, you know, from this lack of food, the lack of bread, and that's going to lead to an increase in violence, man. Right? It's going to lead to cannibalism. Right? It's going to, that love of many waxing cold is going to increase. It's going to be a cold spirit out here, man. If you think it's bad now, just wait. You know, it's going to get worse, man. You know, but wait, there's more, right? But let me see. Do I have anything else? I think that was it. But you know that, look, just going back to the article, man. Food collapse incoming. Ongoing drought forces farmers to abandon wheat crops, right? And this is just, you know, one cog, you know, one step in the direction of the famine that's about to plague the whole earth, man. That's about to plague Babylon the Great chiefly, you know, and lead to the death and destruction of many of these wicked people, man, that are practicing these abominations. That's why it's of utmost importance. You know, actually, let me get that. You know, we'll close with this in Isaiah 65th chapter, man. You know, because there's only one way to avoid what the Lord has set to come, right? Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat. You know, who are his servants, man, the elect. You know, those chosen spirits, you Israelites, you know, you Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, you know, West Indians, you know, the believers, you know, who were chosen from the foundations of the earth, man, right? You're going to be protected from these coming famines, man, right? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Man, you know, it's a great pains are going to be upon the land, man. It's going to be a cold spirit that the Lord is going to have to have on his men, man, because you're going to be seeing people starving to death. You're going to be seeing people, you know, dying of dehydration, right? You know, great death, man. It says, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. You know, because they've been given the opportunity to receive this word, right? You know, 2/3, you know, won't have an excuse in that day. You know, you were given a chance and you refused it. It says, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart and vexation of spirit. Right? So because you weren't vexed because of the wickedness that's in the land, the Lord is going to vex you in that day, man. Right? He's going to remove all the joy. He's going to remove all the pleasures and give you only evils, man. Right? Let me read that in the NLT real quick, and now I'll close it out. It's Isaiah 65:13 in the NLT. It's like, therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. My servants will eat, but you will starve. You know, that's you know, that be hungry ain't harsh enough, right? You will starve, man. My servants will drink, but you will be thirsty. My servants will rejoice, but you will be sad and ashamed. My servants will sing for joy, but you will cry in sorrow and despair. Right? And look, the servants of the Lord are going to be taken care of in that day, man. You know, it's already set. You know, all the the resources have been stacked up, you know, for these times, for the elect, right? That protection is already in place. But the famine, as you know, going back to the article, you know, that aspect is coming quickly, man. Right? We're already seeing it in place, you know, and it's going to have an effect on the hyperinflation. It's going to have an effect, you know, on the him causing all to have to take the MOTB, man. You know, because there's going to be desperation in the land because of lack of resources, right? But his servants, the Lord's servants, are going to be taken care of in that day, man. You know, so, you know, just a quick lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I pray that lesson was edifying through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, B'Hashem Kodash. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who grew well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Wa Kwam Yasharallah. Wa Abad Babal, man. Hey, DTA soon. We almost home. Shalom.